Hardworking female worker bees, they have a lifespan of only about 34, 35 days. And when you see them flying and foraging and landing on flowers and looking for pollen and looking for attractive blossom, that's the last job they do, and that's the end of their life. And before then, from birth, they specialize in these six preceding jobs. And it's absolutely fascinating. When the bee is first born, first hatches out of the egg and out of the larvae, when it's first born, it's fully formed and ready to work immediately. We're not bees and we're not like bees, but it provokes a discussion around skills, and it says, do the job you're doing really well. Throw yourself into it wholeheartedly, and then when you've mastered it, help to train other people. That's the first thing. Be a mentor, be a teacher, be a guardian.
Your positive imprint. Stories are everywhere.
People and their positive action inspire positive achievements.
Your PI could mean the world to you. Get ready for your positive imprint.
Who's buzzing on this episode? Well, I have the pleasure of featuring Philip Atkinson, a beekeeper from Alsace, France. He has a deep passion for living alongside honeybees and gaining insights from them. Philip observes and has come to understand the very intricate working relationships among the bees. And taking that knowledge, he founded his company, Hive Logic. That is awesome, absolute awesome name for your company, Philip. So with this knowledge, he has become a successful communications coach and leadership team expert for his company. And, well, he has captivated, actually mesmerized me, really, with his book, Be Wise. So this is a fabulous name, fabulous book, fabulous guest. And I'm so thrilled to welcome Philip Atkinson to the show. Philip, it's so great to have you here. Welcome to Your Positive Imprint.
Catherine, what a lovely introduction, and it's lovely to connect and to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great, Catherine. Thank you. But actually, as we're sitting here, I'm seeing your lovely logo, and I kind of want to reach out and touch it and make, I know it's about positive imprint, and I just want to say I'm seeing it and the welcome, and I just want to reach out, and we're going to share about positive imprints today. So thank you.
Well, guess what? Your positive imprint is in that. It's part of that logo.
It is, yes.
You are listening to episode 231, part 2 with Philip Atkinson.
I started beekeeping as an antidote to work. It was something completely different to work. It was my home hobby. And my work was organisational design and teams and coaching. They were meant to be two separate things. Of course, it hit me that the busy, complex, buzzy workings of a hive that involves communication and teamwork and decision making, that's very similar to working in a large, complex organisation. And that's when this metaphor came to life for me at work. And I started using beekeeping stories to help open up difficult conversations or projects at work. And it has carried on from there. I've got 4 kids and they keep me young. And their view of the world is very different to my view of the world when I was growing up. And it's for me to adapt, to understand their perspective and understand their fears and concerns and their hopes and their excitement, because it's different to my own experience of being a teenager. I need to evolve. It's my responsibility to evolve. Just because I'm the parent does not absolutely not mean I'm right. I need to evolve the system today, and that's the exciting work, and that's the important work, and that's part of the positive imprint that I want to help encourage in the world.
Well, and you are, indeed you are. And your other chapter, Bees for Diversity, you're talking about sustainable beekeeping and looking at what these bees do to survive. It is a tough life. And yes, we have a tough life at times. It's not tough every day. We have good days, we have bad days, we have good years, bad years, good decades, bad decades, whatever the case may be. But we have to find ways to be sustainable, which is what you're talking about with this evolving. One of the chapters that you have in your book is the chapter 10 Steps If You Are Inspired by the Bees.
This section it's a checklist of things to think about at the end. It's about bees and it's about work and life. And number 5 is don't obsess about weeding. Diversity is good.
Is that not said any simpler?
Yeah, number 6 is don't use pesticides on your garden. All natural is also beautiful. It's also a lesson in life. The chapter that goes deeper into this topic is the one all about diversity. And it's actually not even about gender or about religion or race or color or creed or anything. It's actually about diversity of thinking. And we all think differently. I don't even want to use the word neurodiversity, but we all just approach problems in different ways. And we're all beautiful and brilliant at different things. And really, in a working life, my goal is to help leaders hire brilliant people and then give them the space, the confidence, the trust, the environment to bring their brilliance to work. Or else there's no point hiring them. And then it's not just about work, it's about children, it's about family, it's about life, it's about community. Let's find the brilliance in everybody. And it's different to my brilliance. I'm brilliant at some things. surely I'm brilliant at something. And I'm terrible at others. But let me learn, let me listen, let me reflect, let me try and do something differently. Let me learn from other people. I'm a over 50-year-old white male. Actually, let me let go of my preconceptions that I've carried and brought with me since childhood. Let me let go of a lot of that stuff. And let me start again, or let me be open to what's happening in the world today.
You also talked about the conservation and the preservation and how a community can help preserve the species. Mumbatu Morudi from South Africa and Andy Friedrichs of Norway and Melanie Kirby of United States. They also strive for this in different ways. Mumbatu Morudi, she found that people in a village in South Africa, they were not working together and they were killing elephants that came into their garden. They were burning down trees to get to the beehives, killing the bees, killing the tree, etc. She's a beekeeper herself. And what she did is she talked to the villagers, taught them about how to build a beehive, everything that you do. But what she did is she said she wanted to put up beehives around the perimeter of the village to keep the elephants out because elephants don't like bees. Their ears. The people said they would do that and not cut down the trees. And then in return, they would be the beekeepers and do the honey, and she would purchase the honey, giving them jobs. And then Andy of Norway, Andy Friedrichs, he runs a hotel, Kleifstue, and he wanted so much to bring the bees back to the mountains. And so he went through this whole process of getting them there. And once he did, he wanted to educate the people that were visiting Kleifstue. He wants to conserve and preserve the bees by education. So you have a plethora of friends around the world, and you all need to meet. And then Melanie is a researcher, and she just left Europe. She was one of the speakers going around Europe there. What you're doing, promoting sustainable beekeeping, but also promoting good leadership.
And thank you, Catherine. There are, all around the world, there are lovely bee stories, and each of those stories in South Africa or Norway involved actually stopping and thinking, and how do I make a change? I've heard about the story in Africa, and it actually starts with stopping people being scared of just stopping. People are reacting to the elephants by by fire or scared of bees and chopping trees down, and people are reacting. And actually, no, let's not react. But in that gap between a stimulus and action, let's just stop and think a little bit harder. Is there an alternative way? Are there different ways of thinking? Are there different ways that we can create these solutions for everyone's benefit? It's so easy just to react as we always have done, and that just repeats problems and it escalates things. That's what I'm trying to stop happening. It happens at work, and that's what I want to stop happening at work.
Hence your hive emotion as opposed to hive logic. And that makes sense. Everything you're saying is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, why Switzerland?
Great, thank you. Personal story. I was born in South Africa. My parents are English, and I was just there for a few years. I went back to England, and I did all my school and my study in England, in the north of England, in Yorkshire, which is beautiful. And then actually, I wanted to escape the UK and see the world. And I was offered a job in Switzerland 25 years ago, and I came to Switzerland to work, and it was for a large life science company, and actually it's right on the border. The car park of this company is based in France, and I chose to live in France, and then all I did was move out into a small village in the countryside. So actually my home where I am now is a 500-year-old house in Alsace, and then I cycle or drive just over the border, and my office and most of my work is with global clients headquartered in Switzerland. But we do this work online, and I do keynote speaking all over the world, online or in person as well.
Oh, I
It's
would
lovely.
love to attend one of your keynotes. Wouldn't that be fabulous? So awesome. And you have fabulous quotes.
Thank you. Yeah. Everything we do in life and at work is improved by partnering with other good people. This book is not just about sharing one viewpoint, it's about creating a community towards shared thinking. There's a little story behind that, Catherine. I wrote chapter 1 by myself, and then I thought, what am I doing? Why have I just written one chapter by myself? Because all of my work, really all of my work, is a collaboration with clients or leaders or associates and partners. And I sat at dinner with a friend, and I said, look, I'm really uncomfortable. I've just written one chapter, and it doesn't feel right. I don't, why have I written one chapter by myself? And the discussion continued, and at the end of the evening, we agreed that I would send that chapter to an expert in the field and ask them to write a reply. Not to agree, well, in fact, the first reply from the chapter 1, the expert says, I don't agree with Philip. I have a different view. And I was delighted. I was delighted. He brings in an extra tension that I'd missed, and it's a reply. So we have 12 chapters, 12 themes, and then we have 12 guest writers, each of whom have written a very thoughtful and sometimes very thought-provoking reply. And the book therefore becomes a dialogue, and I think it's made the book a lot richer. It's not the world according to Philip, it's a dialogue between 12 good people and myself. I'm delighted with their contribution, and they've not written to agree with me. They've written their thinking, and it's great. I love that part of the book. That's more diversity, isn't it? I want to help people think, and I want people to help have better discussions. But actually, what else I could give and positive impact is I partner with a charity already called Bees for Development. And actually, the project you described in Africa, where the villagers create honey and then they sell the honey, and it's a similar model. So it's a charity that supports people in developing countries all over the world to have bee skills, to have bee businesses, to pay for their children's education. It's a wonderful, wonderful charity, beesfordevelopment.org, and all proceeds from the book go to the charity. So if you buy it on Amazon, you buy it on Kindle, you buy a hardback copy, and we'll have the links in the show program, in the show reel. All proceeds go to the charity, and it's a pleasure. It's everything for me. This is a fun project, but it's a win-win-win for everybody. Buy the book, profits go to the charity. Simple.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing and building those livelihoods for people around the world. This is your moment of lift. And I love that phrase. That's from Melinda Gates. Philip, this has been amazing, and it's an incredible journey for you around the world, literally. And I would like to have you share your brilliant last inspiring words.
Well, the book title is Be Wise, 12 Leadership Lessons from Inside a Busy Hive. It's not just for leaders, and it's not just for work. And one of the key messages from the book is, as adults, as parents, as volunteers, as community members, as role models, and as bosses at work or employees at work, but not just that, we all need to stop and pause and think a little bit harder about who we are and what we're carrying with us and what's happening before responding. And in that moment of thought or calm or process, instead of reacting with the same patterns that we've always done, just consider what's happening for the other person. What else is the context? What's going on? What am I missing? What do I need to understand that maybe I don't yet understand? Just pause and think a little bit harder about what is happening. And that is my positive imprint I want to leave with the world.
Philip, inside the hive, the bees work as a collaborative community. So thank you again, Philip, for sharing your positive imprints. To learn more about Philip Atkinson, go to hive-logic.com and his project at bewisebook.com. That's BEEWISEBOOK.com. Again, all proceeds go to the charity Bees for Development. You can check out Bees for Development at beesfordevelopment.org. Bees for Development works tirelessly to promote sustainable beekeeping to combat poverty, build resilient livelihoods, and benefit biodiversity. Again, Philip Atkinson, thank you so much for being here on Your Positive Imprint.
Thank you very much for your interest and curiosity. Thank you.
Your Positive Imprint is a free podcast. If you'd like to buy me a coffee to help fund the production of this podcast, here's how. Go to buymeacoffee.com/yourpositiveimprint, and any support you offer will be greatly valued. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to Your Positive Imprint. So try to change your perspective in order to understand the reality of others. And until next time, enjoy listening to over 200 episodes of Your Positive Imprint. Your Positive Imprint. What's your PI?